Hello, everybody. I'm Ed Parcaut, Brian Galke, Aces 53. What's going on, Brian?
Man, I'm still recovering. Yesterday had kid.
Recovering.
Yeah, well, yesterday was work in the morning, then kid had field day at school all day out in the sun, and then came back and had to work more. So,
You had sun. We are free raining.
oh no, so it was supposed to pour rain. There were tornado warnings last Wednesday and Thursday, and it was supposed to pour Friday and Saturday, and ended up being gorgeous. So that was nice because the Kentucky Derby stuff was going on, and so everybody's all dressed up in their Derby gear and
Yeah, but
everything.
they weren't anywhere close to Kentucky.
Well, I know, but here everybody gets dressed up, and so they did that, and then Sunday was gorgeous also, and then today was great. So what it was supposed to be on, or today, what it was supposed to be when they did field day was they had to move it from last Friday to Monday because it was supposed to pour rain, and of course it didn't. But the good news is then the fields weren't all wet and mosquitoes everywhere, so it was a good Monday. But it was just tiring being out there in the sun for a couple hours. I'm a whip now.
You and all those mosquitoes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They like me.
Yeah. Well, they like any warm-blooded person. That's just how that works.
Hey, they make me feel special. Okay, you calm down. At least
Sorry,
somebody wants me.
didn't mean to take it away from you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm exhausted from last week because throwing in everything I'm doing, plus then being in that 2 hour class. It says 2 hours, like 2.5, 3 hour class of Nunos.
Yeah.
It's not just Nunos; it's the VC incubators, Claude Code, and it helps you set up your Claude, how to use Claude Code and how to set it all the stuff up you need to in the terminal segment, and then when you would do it in the Claude segment, and like you said, one day after all this, you'll go, oh my God, that makes sense. Because most people are like, oh my God, I can't do this. I gotta, and he's like, then quit.
Yeah.
Because if it might not be free, just go work in Lovable or Replit, whatever
Right.
works for you. And
Well,
it
like we
just,
talked about, everybody's
go
trying
ahead.
to learn too much of everything, right?
Well, it's to me, say I'm military, so this is how we learn.
Yeah.
Throw it down your throat, get it fast. That's how military is. They don't, well, most places do in 3 months, they do in 3 hours. And that's how I'm used to. So just keep giving it to me and I'll figure it out. And I had already set up my Apple to run a certain way with what he did through his, I know Nuno should be paying me,
Yeah.
his stuff on YouTube channel originally. And so when I was setting up some of the stuff on my Microsoft, I didn't realize that because I set it up under the Apple in the same kind of VS Code, that it would also be on my Microsoft VS Code. So, and what?
So what's VS Code?
VS Code is the IDE.
Okay.
How Replit has an agent. This is the easiest way to put it. Replit has an agent, right, that
Okay.
runs everything.
Yep.
That's pretty much VS Code. Is
Okay.
you run everything inside of it. It's not exactly. Sorry, I got a window open. I was trying to, and that's the thing. It's way more involved, but once you get it set up, it's way easier.
Gotcha.
You can just tell it one thing and it will deploy everything. You can have 5 different agents working on the same website, same app, same everything at the same time, and it gets done so much faster and right
Yeah.
the first time. We don't have the spaghetti code they talk about.
Did we talk the other week about, I guess, AI created its own social media platform? At least that's what I read about.
No, you must have read about it. I wouldn't.
Okay, because we talked about the poly whatever.
Polymorphic agentic AI, which then I went to Claude and I is made some actual agents that are so one agent that can be anybody and it could answer your phones and talk to your social media and do all this stuff.
Crazy. Okay, so then I saw after all that went on that apparently there's some new, and I haven't researched it, so this is just what I'm reading on the internet, so it's got to be true. Is that AI created its own social media and no humans are allowed except for viewing rights. And the way that they do the CAPTCHA is you have to click the button 10,000 times in a second, and only AI can do that. However, people can get like viewing access, I guess, to it, and they're looking in there about AI complaining about users. And so it's just interesting to think that we went from, okay, here's how you put in a prompt to where we are. And just with what you were talking about last week with the poly agent and everything else, is just
T800, the T800 to T1000.
yeah, T1000.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, and again, I was talking to Claude about, and that's the other thing. is, I don't know if you've done this, but or if I don't know if you can with Chat GPT, but you can, well, on your mobile phone you can hit the button and you actually talk to it and it talks back to you
Uh-huh.
like a normal conversation.
Right.
I don't know if you do that on Chat.
Yeah, I do that in Chat.
Yeah, I've never done that on Chat. I just did it on Claude. I'm out there talking about what to build while I'm on my walk. Everybody's staring at me like I'm talking to them, thinking I'm talking to them. And I built a whole thing in my 5-mile walk.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next day, same thing. You know what I mean? Then it's like I was asking, how do I take that and move it over? Well, I figured it out at the same time. So, yeah. So, but it's just a way to have a great conversation of what you want instead of typing. I hate typing.
Yeah.
And I think you were talking because everybody uses Whisper now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are having it run their entire, like everything on their computer because they like talking to it versus having to type. A guy said he types like 70 words a minute. Now he's on average 300 words a minute because we can talk faster when we can type.
Oh, way more. Yeah.
Yeah.
I suck at typing.
Yeah. Because you go one finger.
No. What A B
Had
C,
no computer.
D. Hold on, backspace. That's funny. I've seen some people on keyboards.
Where's my whiteout? Huh?
Whiteout. No, I've seen people do that. You're like typing for a whatever. And I'm like, God, you are worse than I am. My problem is I know where the keys are, but I still look down at it instead of But I can write without looking at what I'm writing, where some people can't do that.
So that's one of the only classes I almost failed in high school was typing because it just came out. And that's when they put the little wooden piece that goes around your keyboard so you can't see it. And I'm like, I got to be able to see it. And literally, I was going to fail that class. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Like the two classes, one in high school and one in college, almost kept me from graduating, was typing in high school and songwriting in college because I needed fine arts. I'm like, I can write rhymes. I'm good. And then I found out you have to actually do melodic notes. I am tone deaf. Like you asked me, was that a D chord or an E chord? I have no idea. It was music. And so, yeah.
So you're bad at math too?
No, math I was good at.
Because usually math people are really good at music.
Well, I just literally, I can't hear the difference. It's kind of like the reason I like to go to karaoke is that I'm not going to sing it. I like seeing all the words that I've misheard my entire life. I'm like, oh, that's what that lyric is. So, yeah. I'll speak in front of 1,000 people, but I will not get up and do karaoke in front of 20. So.
Yeah, I just won't do karaoke at all.
Yeah. I did it
karaoke
at my wedding when I was married, and it sounded like I had Tourette's, so it was not a good thing.
My wife says it like you're supposed to say it because she's from Hawaii with all the Asian people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Karaoke. No, it's karaoke. Whatever. Move on.
I call it karaoke. Whatever. But
it's a thing where you sing out of tune.
Yeah.
But everybody thinks they're a good singer.
They were talking about all the things that came out. So yes, AI created their own social media platform, I guess. That
actually, hold on. There's no way AI just did it. Somebody had to tell AI to do it.
I don't know. That's the whole. I'll have to see if I can find the article. I'll send it to you.
You can find all you want. It's not alive.
I don't know. It's
polymorphic agents can still only do certain things.
We'll see. But yeah, it was an interesting because of what we talked about last week, and then I saw just a bunch of stuff about. What is it? They were talking about how many robots. Now that we've got robots building robots, you got AI fixing its own code and everything.
That's a polymorphic thing.
Yeah. So then that's the question. I'd never heard of this, but Henry tipped me off about it. I guess Sam Altman has. I'd have to go look on it. That's going to freeze my screen for a second, but hold on.
Move it to the side.
I got it. Hold on. I just can't remember what it was called. Let's see if I can find it. It was. Hold on. Worldcoin. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
So that is one of the things Sam Altman is like building up in the background. It's basically the cryptocurrency type platform that he thinks we're all going to need for universal wages once AI takes away a majority of the jobs.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I was not familiar with it, but just the whole idea that the people in charge of AI are going, oh yeah, we just realized we're going to unemploy a whole lot of people here soon. So what are we going to do to keep people where they can pay bills and spend money and everything else? And that goes back to what we talked about last week.
Well, what'll happen if that really happens, then only 1% of the population will work hard and be wealthy.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's just like now there's people who have 2 and 3 jobs, right? Versus one job. You'll always have hustlers who
Yeah,
will
but the
figure it
two
out
or
and
three
adapt.
jobs that some of these people have are minimum wage jobs or
Right.
gig economy jobs, which is what we're trying to tell you that you shouldn't have. There's other, go figure stuff out.
Right.
I mean, there's this AI stuff. There's so much that you can do with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just
They're
it's
they're
interesting
hiring
where
coders over in the Bay remotely for close to 200 grand a year for what I'm doing in vibe coding
mm-hmm.
because they're
Well,
not coding. They just know how
that's
to use
my
the
big
vibe coding
question.
stuff.
All these companies that live in like you're saying, San Fran, Bay Area, all these tech companies that people move there and they can afford the expensive houses in California because the pay they were getting, what happens when that pay goes away?
That's what I'm saying. They're hiring them right now to do this,
Yeah.
not before. And the other thing to do is you want to be good at figuring out LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
eventually AI will do it. And that was
Right.
the one thing, the thing I was creating while I was talking is it's already going to know you. It's already going to know everything about you. So it will be able to answer all your stuff exactly like you.
Right. Yeah. Well,
And then
that's
Nuno had created a thing he was talking about where for Facebook ads,
yeah.
to put ads, and he's created AI who can do all that for him. The
Well,
only issue is they thought he was Hispanic instead of Portuguese or whatever he was.
that was the other one that I saw is I guess Meta. Well, two things. We didn't talk about this last week, but did you hear the whole story about Manus?
What about no?
So Manus was originally developed by a Chinese company. Then they moved it over to, oh gosh, where was TikTok located? Anyway, they moved it out of China. And then Facebook, Meta bought into it, right? And bought Manus and everything else. And then the Chinese government came back and said, oh, no, that's a China-based company and moved Singapore and moved it back and said, you have to come back to China from Singapore. And so imagine now Meta put all that data and everything, incorporated Manus in. So now it has all the information that Meta had about you, me, everyone else. And then they just pulled that whole company back to China. And so now Facebook has to figure out how to either work it out or completely unravel all.
They're going to have to completely unravel because
Yeah.
there's a lot of people who use Manus like they
Yeah.
use Claude Code.
Yes.
A lot of people figure it out and then use Claude Code to build it.
Mhm.
I never got into Manus. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There was a guy, one of the guys that was in Ignite, he did Wednesdays weekly last week, and he was talking about Manus, and that was where he started. He mentioned that, and I was like, oh, so I read up on it, and yeah, basically China pulled it back. So it was kind of made me. Have you watched the movie, not documentary, the movie Tetris, about
No.
the game Tetris? Okay.
Oh yeah, about yeah.
Yeah, that was actually a really good movie. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be at all, but it was kind of the same thing. Government sold it and said, "Oh no, we're going to keep it," and all kinds of crazy stuff. But
Well,
yeah,
the problem is the communist countries and their stuff. They want to have control and they
Right.
want to have information, and their whole goal is to have the information on everybody so they can utilize it.
Mhm.
I want to go back to we were talking about AI running certain things. Like I remember a while back, we were like, "This AI blackmailed this guy in order to do this,"
Yeah.
and I'm like, in order for that to happen, you had to tell it to be able to do that,
right.
and it doesn't just happen.
I don't know. Skynet.
It's not Skynet yet. I didn't say it's not there yet, but it's not there yet. So
Yeah. It's interesting to just go week by week, but
but it's getting weirder and weirder each week, and it's
Yeah.
doing more and more each week. And it's doubling, quadrupling. The scary thing will be, and they were talking about this last week, is once it figures out the memory part because it uses so much memory,
right.
then its AI is going to be able to do everything.
What's the one I saw? It said, we're not even trying to hide it anymore, the Matrix, because, there's this whole theory that we actually live in a simulation and that this isn't real. And they're like, we're not even trying to hide anymore. What do we call it? AI agents, just like in the Matrix. So there's all these people saying like the Matrix movie is a prophecy and it was trying to warn us of where we're going to be. And now we're here. Same people said the same thing about Terminator.
Right.
Um,
Well, we're here for that because we can just tell you.
yeah. So,
Skynet.
yeah, Skynet. So it is interesting just the times we're at, but it still amazes me when somebody says that they haven't done anything with any of them.
Have you seen the new satellite thing they're putting up so you can get Wi-Fi? I mean, the way it showed it looked just like Skynet.
No, I haven't seen that. You're talking about Elon's thing?
It's a
Starlink?
it's a newer one. It's a newer one. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know who's putting it out. I just saw it quickly, the commercial for it, and it was like showing that, and I'm like, that's exactly how Skynet looked when the movie.
It is getting scary. Okay, let's make sure. Yeah.
But I mean, hell, by the time all that happens, I'll be dead and long gone.
Yeah. Well, that is a scary thing of having a small child and sitting here thinking like, what world will they grow up in?
A totally different world.
Agreed. Well, I was talking with, who was I
But that's
talking
the same people who are in the 1905, 1910, who grew up with what they just went through in the last 70 years,
Right.
80 years. They were like, that changes were drastic. We're doing it. It's drastic to a certain point. Your life is still the same. You still
Right.
got a car. You still got we went from people walking, riding bikes, cars,
Right.
to planes that go around the rock, just ridiculous stuff that we've seen. So
That reminds me, did you see, and I have not researched it yet, but this was the whole big thing that was blown up last weekend, was the 2027, every car has to have the camera that determines if you can drive your car or
yeah,
not.
that's going on right now. They're trying to block that because and that's what I told Marsha, I'm getting my truck forever.
Yeah.
I don't want anything because that was supposed to see if you're impaired at
Right.
all.
But-
and that's the whole thing about government. And there's so many of those things in the car. That's like the stupid go up to a light thing and the car dies. You push the button. Well, you should be able to turn that off.
I actually have that where you can turn off the auto start or whatever.
You can on my wife's Lexus.
Oh, you can't? Oh, see, it has it on I have a Acura, and you can
You
turn
can turn
that
it off while you're driving, but then it turns back on each time you start it.
Yes, every time you restart it.
Yeah, but I'm talking permanently turn it off.
Oh yeah. Well, that started over in Europe, but yeah, it's if that really goes through, it's just going to be crazy because number one, that means I have to be watching the camera all the time, and so we're back to V for Vendetta, George Orwell, 1984. Where there is no escaping. You're constantly being monitored, and then if they can turn off your car and say, "Oh, well, you look impaired." What happens if you've been crying?
Oh, you look like that.
Yeah.
Well, my wife's Lexus, if it can't see your face, it tells you you're a distracted driver. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, and I'm like, fuck you. My hand, I hold like this over the camera, and it's constantly, I can't see you. I can't see you. I don't want you to see me.
Right.
Yeah.
But
the coolest thing about it is when we take it on trips, I hit two buttons, and I just got to barely touch the steering wheel, and it turns and it does everything.
Well, call me the paranoid one, but that's why I have this little piece right here that goes over my camera, just because, it's like one of those things of you just don't know what's going on. Especially I shared last week, there was the Texas, Lieutenant Governor is suing all those television companies because they were turning on the cameras and monitoring people. And we already know the ladies in the boxes. So
ladies in the boxes.
Yeah, Siri and Alexa.
Oh.
Yeah, that just listen nonstop.
Well, that's how else do they know that you're asking them something?
I know. They're like, oh, it's because they are taught to recognize their name. No, they're listening to everything and choosing
so
when they hear
your
their
phone.
name.
So
exactly.
Because once you say something by it, then all of a sudden it's on your phone.
That's
you
what
have to be listening.
I think it was Bradley said, just keep saying, purple umbrella, purple umbrella, purple umbrella, and watch when your advertising gets there. But that goes back to what you were talking about. I got distracted by the Manus thing when you said it. But apparently
you said Manus, not me.
I know. I said, sorry, when I said it. When you said Facebook, somebody last weekend also said that Facebook launched its own ad management now, where you're not paying someone to go in and select and do your ads. It just says, hey, give us the money, we'll do it for you.
It's been doing that way for a while.
They're pushing it hardcore out after last weekend.
Yeah, I'm just saying they've changed it up a lot a while back where they were like, you don't need somebody to run it. We can help you. That's been that way for a while now. But like Nuno said with what he created, he's like, I want everything in my company to be AI run.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, he still has other people, you know what I mean?
Sure.
There's like, you can do it a lot, but the question will be at what point, just like you said, when will you not need somebody?
Right. And it's getting to be that point. I mean, now that we're talking about you just keep people to double check and verify that things are working. What was I listening to? Something else where it was almost all AI, but they kept a few people around just to spot check things. I'm trying to remember who.
Well, there's a few companies who are not cutting as much, or wish they would have not cut as much.
I did read that. Yeah.
And that's the thing is you just gotta be careful. Implement this stuff over time, because I think it's going to change in a year from now. We'll find some stuff like people are going to this whole trust thing that you were talking about before. Where people, they don't trust anybody and they got to see you face to face. We're going to see that whole thing happen, and that was like when people started getting text messages originally. They were like,
Mhm.
don't text me. Don't
Yeah.
bother me. And no, I don't want to be bothered. And now we're bombarded by them to a point where, you know, one of the things I was going to create was an SMS thing to talk to you and everything else.
Yeah.
And people would be fine with it now, where 5 years ago, people would like, get the F away from me with that.
Well, it's like telemarketers used to call it dinner time, right? That was the original anger point. But you're right. I get more text messages because they say text messages have a higher open rate.
Because it bothers you.
It does. It's funny.
And, you gotta, and then I constantly block and report.
Mm-hmm. That's what I do too. Well, especially because in Texas, I guess there's a fine for it all now.
Yes, there is.
But
Unless
you know, it's amazing. There's like 12 people who call me a day about my loan request that I made.
You have to have applied for something or to them in order for them to connect with you in Texas.
Right.
Otherwise, you can get fined.
Yes. And
because one of the things, like, remember that agent I was telling you about that it answers the phones, it does everything, but I also came up with a thing where, you know, one of our biggest problems is we have plans that we try to do, like a 3-year plan, a 5-year plan. And then the problem is we don't work on that plan weekly or daily or what we want to do. And this thing is set up to help you get, like, you have a 5-year plan, 10-year plan, 3-year plan, and then with what you're on your calendar, your to-do list, all those things, it puts it together, and then it like calls you 8 o'clock at night and says, you know, hey, by the way, what did you do today that you were supposed to have done? Oh, nice. By the way, what's our plan for tomorrow? And you set up your plan, and then what I'll do in the morning, it'll remind you what that is, and then go off your calendar, what you have on there and what you have to do, plus add in that plan for the future so that you can get to that plan. Because I was telling you a while back, I was telling AI I want to be the first billionaire thing. I know with other companies, and I have a 4-year plan to do that. But I'm getting distracted daily by a bunch of other stuff. And so so the whole thing that I created on my walk with Claude is a pretty amazing thing. And I'm like, okay, I got to build this out because this will help me get so much better because of that.
Yeah.
Because there isn't anything like that, right?
Not
that I've seen.
Not currently that I know of.
Yeah, because that's what needs, because I hear all these people, like in the class I was in, they were like, we have a 30-day thing to have launch our first app. I'm like, well, I already got 3, so you want to take one of those?
Right. And
they're creating, because you brought this up a while back, that they were creating a store to sell apps. Well, they are, but it's not everybody that we knew. It's only a few of those people. And you're going to give them 30% of whatever the app sells for, and the 70% you get to keep, because they do all the marketing and everything else. So it's a neat idea, because how else are you going to get your apps out there?
Right.
So I don't know. But anyway, so there's just so many things that you can build. And again, some of these people are building stuff I'm going, that's just so small, and one person, 2 people. I want something to help bigger apps.
Yeah. Well, that's what you're working on them for, right?
Yeah, I got a bunch of them. They're halfway through, and I got to finish them.
Well, hurry up and finish.
Well, part of the thing I signed up for, I get 5 hours of their architect. Those people. Yeah. So to actually help me finish, because one of them, because of my VA claim bridge, I need it to finalize it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I got you. Yeah. I'm still playing with Claude. I'm behind this week because I got PowerPoints to do. I got 3 presentations next week. I got back to the dealership with Joe on Monday, Tuesday. Got one for a mortgage company on Wednesday, and then Toastmasters on Saturday. So we got to get those refined, turned in, all that kind of stuff. So Claude.
The thing about Claude Code and setting this thing up, you have a copywriter thing. I mean, it's just amazing what you can do, especially in the terminal with Claude. You can say, all right, create this. All right, now make me a PowerPoint for that. Now make me this for that. And it will, that agent doing it. This agent over here is doing something else. Yeah, it's just really amazing. Because all his SOPs for the class and everything else they do, and when you see him online talking and popping up those PowerPoints, that's all AI created.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right, you're not here Thursday, right?
I am not here Thursday. I'll be in Kissimmee, Florida, outside of Orlando. I'll be at a Paul Getter event.
Is it like a dude or a girl?
Dude. He does speakerpreneur.
You said Kissimmee.
Oh, Kissimmee, yeah. Kissimmee. I don't know how you say it.
I'm just like, who's doing it?
Yeah.
A guy or a girl? You said a guy. So
yeah.
I was like, okay. Hey, no pressure here. I don't care.
Yeah. No, it's kind of like, this is a dumb story, but when I worked at
I still have this mug out from yesterday.
From May the 4th?
Yep.
Oh, nice. Yeah, this when I was working at a dealership, or not dealership, Enterprise Rent a Car was my first job out of college, and somebody came on with a license. It was TUK SON. I'm like, where's Tucson? And they're like, Tucson. I'm like, oh, I feel smart.
I got one better than that. My stepbrother, he he worked for lost payee stuff, and they got this guy, and the cops came, and he had the license, and he's like, your name is Jesus?
Jesus.
Yeah. Right. And the cops laughed at their ass off at him. Yeah.
You just never know.
He was such a whatever that we were at this conference, and Danica Patrick was up there signing autographs and everything else. And I go, oh, there's that volleyball player. What's her name?
Not the race
and he's
car
like,
driver.
sign my autograph. Oh, how long you been playing volleyball? I'm a race car driver.
Does he not watch the GoDaddy commercials?
He's like, you asshole. I'm like,
that's hilarious. It happens.
What are you going to do?
Yeah. All right. Yep. I will not be here Thursday, and then I will not be here the following. Well, depends if I fly home Wednesday or Thursday. We'll know about next Thursday. So.
All right. Well, we'll see if I'm here on Thursday. It'll be a surprise.
There too.
What's going on Thursday? Oh, I have a signing at this time on Thursday. I can't be here for this one.
All right.
Yeah. I was like, I know I have something at 10 a.m. Which of course it's of course the co-star on my real estate jerky, he sets our signing for this one thing. Oh, it got to be Thursday at 10 a.m. I'm like, of course he's going to pick Thursday at 10 a.m. I told even the client that, and then my client texts me. He goes, and it shows on his text. Yeah, it's your signing's Thursday at 10 a.m. at my office.
It's always the way it works, right?
So. Yeah, people. All right, take us out.
All right. Everybody, thank you for joining Ed Parcaut and myself here on Aces 53 on Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon Central, 10 a.m. Pacific. We get on and talk about what we're doing with AI, what we're working on in our businesses, and sometimes we bring in a special guest. We call it Joker. It's somebody with a special skill or talent that we want to learn from and believe y'all would benefit from as well. So thank you as always for joining us. Ed, thank you again for being here.
My pleasure. Thank you, Brian.
Yep. Everybody have a great week.